kind of came about because, there we go, we're being recorded. Awesome. Our meet and mingles started because we wanted to provide extra value to our audience. And we, these topics didn't just come out of nowhere. We took the time to ask you what you wanted. We pulled our community groups, this page, and these topics are kind of coming into fruition and really building into some really great things that you've been asking for. So we're calling them mini coaching sessions, meet and mingles, and really talking through these hot topics to share some really valuable tips that are easy, meaningful. You can do them today. They're not going to cost you anything, and they will help with, in this kind of first episode of our stress mini series, they'll help with the relief part of stress relief. So you want to recap who we are?
Yeah, I sure will. And I won't tell you I'm 35 years old again. If you missed the last one and missed that joke, you'll have to go back. You can always catch these guys as replays here on the Facebook page. I'm also uploading them to my YouTube so that we can share them out easily. But just a quick little recap on where me and Jess kind of come from. Jess is in Cali, I'm in the Midwest. We come together with different skill sets that we're super excited to share with you guys. Myself, I have about 25 years of fitness, health, nutrition, physical education. I've been in the industry for a very long time. So it's a very big passion of mine, self-care, and I call myself a self-care fitness enthusiast. Jess, beautiful Jess, she has about 15 years of experience and a master certification in professional coaching. So she likes to specialize more in the emotional wellness aspect. So you can kind of see where we kind of come together very well with our skill sets, with me in the more physical, nutritional realm, her in the more emotional wellness, well-being realm. So together we just have a passion for people, for inspiring and sharing and just coming alongside you and providing value in different topics. So hence the kind of continuation of our meet and mingles. Again, these will happen about twice a month was our goal. We did our first one on the 6th, and then today's the 20th. We are going to jump into some discussion on stress, managing stress, tools for you to use with stress. Lots of us have kids that are back to school. Jess's kids are back to school already. She has one sick already. So already talk about stress. And mine will be going back on Wednesday. So some of these tips that we're going to share are things that you could teach your children. You can incorporate into family activities. Some of the things I'm going to read from my paper so I don't skip over some important topics. We make sure that we have some clear messages to share with you guys, and I don't want to skip them. When we started looking at stress, we came up with 3 topics that we wanted to start with and talk about today. The first one we had was mindfulness and meditation. And some people, when they think of meditation, they think of someone sitting there and meditating. It can be so many different things. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is something you can use anywhere. You can use it in the morning, in the afternoon, when you're sitting in your car, and it physiologically will help you manage your stress. And some of you may have heard of it before. It's called box breathing. So last session, we talked about finding time for ourselves, finding what makes you feel better, things that you have, not my dogs. You're good, girl. Things that make you feel your best and function at your best. And so today I want to teach you a technique called box breathing. And this technique is one that you can use, like I said, anytime when you feel like your stress levels just kind of gotten out of hand. And you don't want to be that person meditating in the corner, but you can definitely do this anywhere. Some of the benefits of this, before I teach you how to do it, is it reduces physical stress symptoms in the body. And what does that mean? So cortisol is a stress hormone that does a lot of havoc in your body. And box breathing actually helps lower cortisol levels. It positively affects emotions and mental well-being and increases mental clarity, energy. We all need more energy, right? And focus. And it also will help you improve like your future reactions to stress, because now you have a technique to go to when you feel overwhelmed. Okay, so that was the reason with the mindfulness and the meditation, we wanted to add some value and give you a little tip, trick, whatever you want to call it, to manage stress easily in a different way. So with box breathing, we would love you to try this with us. You can actually Google on, you can Google about anything, but there are literally YouTubes that will take you through box breathing. And what do I mean by that? I screenshotted this and I'll share it with you. So for example, right here is a box. I'm going to teach you box breathing. And in the YouTubes, it will actually walk you through the box breathing. Okay, to start off with, what I would love you to do to participate with us so you understand how this technique works is, number one, it says you want to find a quiet space, but a quiet space can be in your chair at work, shut the door. It can be in the school pickup line, wherever that is for you. It's just seated in a quiet space. Okay. Now, the second thing you're going to do, and this is more like tactically helping you feel and experience the box breathing. So place one hand on your chest, and then the other one you're going to put on your lower stomach. Okay, so like here and here. Okay. I love that. You're going to try to feel the air and see where it's entering when breathing. Okay, stick with me. Focus on feeling an expansion in the stomach, so the lower part, but without forcing the muscles to push out. Now, don't get wrapped up into this right now. These are kind of tips and tricks we can share with you even more later. But you want to try to relax the muscles instead of engaging them. Okay. And again, add this to the routine of your day. Give yourself some time to kind of figure the technique out. And once you have it down, you will feel better when you're doing it. The other thing I want to note, and I don't have it, Jess, do you have your Apple Watch on? No. So if you wear an Apple Watch,
Diane, I had to go charge it. Sorry.
You're good.
I was like, no, I was scrunchy.
If you wear an Apple Watch, your Apple Watch actually has a breathing app, and it works with box breathing is what it does. So that's also a great tool that you can use to remind yourself to participate in box breathing throughout the day to help with your stress level. Okay, so how do we do box breathing? So what I want you to do is I want you to picture a box, just a square box, okay? And there's lots of techniques. The main technique that I know is called 4, 4, 4, 4. Kind of easy, 4 sides to a square and 4 seconds, okay? So what you're going to do, you can have your hand up here and on your belly. So you're really focusing on that belly breathing. And you're going to inhale for a count of 4. Okay. Then you're going to hold it for a count of 4. Then you're going to exhale for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. Then inhale for a count of 4. So at first you may feel like it's a little hard to do, but as you practice, it becomes easier. Okay, so let's try it together. Let's do it 2 times. And then again, I have 2 YouTubes here I will share with you. One talks about the benefits of it. The second one is like a 2-minute walkthrough where they actually take you through the breathing with some calming music. Okay, so we're going to start with an inhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4 with the bite. So really it becomes like at first, even me with the exhale and learning to hold it before I breathe back in, really just gets you in the mindset and helps with all of the psychological, physiological, and psychological benefits that come with box breathing. So instead of talking about just meditation and mindfulness, we wanted to provide a tool for you that you actually can use and take it into your life right now, tonight before you go to bed. If you feel stressed, do 3 to 4 box breathing, spend a few minutes just relaxing and try this technique out. We'd like to hear what you guys think of this. So part of our stress value added this week is box breathing. Jess, do you want to talk about our second point?
Yes. And I wanted to let you know I posted the 2 links down below for you as well. So you have the 1 minute in length box breathing, kind of just shares about it. And then the second one is your actual, takes you through the technique. Great to save to your phone for a later time so you can reference them at any time you feel like you need to just take a pause. So the second tip we want to talk about, and I'll kind of keep this short because it does go in hand with our last episode and a little more in depth. So we want to talk about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So one of my favorite quotes for a healthy lifestyle is from Gandhi: maintaining a healthy lifestyle. It's the health that is a real wealth in your life. So thinking about, your health as the number one most important thing in your day. And unfortunately, with all the crazy things that happen in life, that's usually the first thing we kind of throw out the window, right? Is our health. When we keep up with the hustle and bustle of life, we forget some of the simple things that really contribute to staying healthy, both inside and out. So things like a balanced diet. We talked a little bit about that last time, but potentially eating a rainbow. So we'll be sharing some more about healthy habits around eating, around that type of stuff, and around portion control in our next couple chats. So you're going to want to stay tuned for sure. But another thing we talked about is setting small goals to continue to move forward. Those very small 1% increases, things like setting a goal for small amounts of movement in your day. If 30 minutes sounds like a lot, start with 10 minutes. If 5 minutes sounds like the sweet spot for you, start there. And every day stay consistent and move forward, 1% forward. The next one is your sleep schedule. Sleep is so important, your most important healing function in your body. So prioritizing sleep, getting that 6 to 8 hours a night for most of us. For me, I know 7 hours, 7.5 hours, that's my sweet spot. I relish my sleep. Turn off the TV at night. Try not to sleep with the TV on, because that is never going to give you that super deep REM that your body really needs to get that healing. Cats are also great too. If you can, the kids are back at school, hopefully for most of you. Some of you I know go back this coming week, so you'll be in that realm with us. Getting a cat nap in when you need a little bit of rejuvenation, take the 15-20 minute nap. It will be worth it in the long run, that you're prioritizing, and your brain won't have that foggy feeling. It'll feel more rejuvenated, more refreshed. The next one is hydrate. So water. Water is huge. If you're not going to do water, do something that is, maybe a flavored water. If you're a sparkling water person, those are all the rage right now. Make sure you keep a tumbler nearby with water, and hydrate, especially coming out of the summer. Our bodies need to rejuvenate all the time, and utilizing our hydration is just super easy and top of mind if you just lug around some sort of tumbler. You see those Stanley cups are all over the place. They're huge. They are awesome. They keep everybody hydrated. I love to see what your tumbler looks like. So if you have one nearby, post a picture in the comments. We want to see what they look like. It always gives us good ideas too for what we need to buy next for our own tumbler collection. I have got a very large tumbler collection. All right, the last one I want to talk about, and then Shalene's going to take it in with our key final point for this chat, is to limit your caffeine intake. We both thought it was kind of funny that I was the one covering this point. As you know, I love coffee in all ways, shapes, and forms, but personal experience has told me that a little bit too much coffee can actually have that adverse effect on me, and it can make me feel a little bit more on edge. And the coffee crash isn't always something, it affects everybody differently. So if you have that coffee crash where you just feel like the afternoon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you're just like dreading life, the first thing you do is grab another cup of coffee, or you go spend, $6, $7 at Starbucks or Dunkin' and get another coffee. Maybe instead of doing that, try to chug a glass of water before, or switch to a healthier alternative. I switched to matcha, so green tea, matcha, fine powder, and I make them myself at home now. Unless I'm out on the go, that's kind of my go-to in the afternoon. I find that the caffeination crash later on at night is not anything like it would be if I had another cup of coffee. So check yourself on your caffeine intake. If that's something you struggle with and you just love the coffee taste, maybe consider switching to like a half caffeinated blend for the afternoons, or even a decaf blend if it's just that ritual you have with yourself. So those are some great tips to continue with maintaining your stress levels. Shalene, you want to take us through our last and final one?
Yes. And this one actually is the one I have written down more, because this one just, to me, kind of brings the reason why we wanted to at least do these meet and mingles, and do them so you can see our face. Ideally, we'd love to be in front of you face to face. We'd love to do Zooms with small groups of you, because point number 3 in stress reduction is social connection and support, which is so important. They say face-to-face contact is like a vaccine. So this is kind of a little quote from a psychologist. Her name's Susan Pinker. She states that direct person-to-person contact triggers parts of our nervous system that releases like a cocktail of neurotransmitter, which are your feel-good hormones, tasked with regulating our response to stress and anxiety. So from a scientific background, again, you're seeing and hearing the benefit of social face-to-face contact. Now, I hate to bring up the big C word, but we know what happened during COVID when we couldn't do that face-to-face contact, or it became harder, or you saw half of a person's face. It was just a lot harder. on a lot of us, even if you are more of an introvert. This is super important to get the support from other people. So some bullet points on this that I have down. One of them is, in other words, when we communicate with people face to face, it can help to make us more resilient to stress factors in the long run. Face-to-face contact releases, again, those feel-good hormones like a vaccine. They protect you now, in the present, and well into the future. So simply shaking hands with someone, which is weird, that releases those hormones. Giving someone a high five, pat on the back, releases those feel-good hormones. And then it also increases your level of trust and lowers, again, that cortisol levels. And we'll talk about cortisol levels as we go more into this age right now. The high stress levels, the cortisol, you'll hear that thrown around with belly fat, especially as you are in more of this middle age section of life, where you're starting to notice things settling a little bit more in your tummy. A lot of that comes from high cortisol levels, which in turn comes from high stress levels. So some of the supporting data and research has shown that by interacting with others, we actually train our brains. So social motivation, social contact can help to improve your memory. It can help you recall things, and it's just overall really good for your body. So a few of the ideas that we had that hopefully some of you can think about is schedule a date night with your husband. You know, if you have children, get a babysitter, schedule a date night, make it on your list, because how many of you, even with your husband, you get a text message here, a text message there, you come home, you're running around, you're getting kids to sports. Schedule a date night. Schedule a date night with your husband, maybe a night out with your friends, grabbing a coffee, a family vacation, a staycation, anything like that will help you get some more social interaction and face-to-face contact. So with kind of talking about social connections and support, one of the things that, or three questions I'd like you to ask yourself, and this kind of goes back to, are you in the right environment that's going to build you up as a person and make you the best that you can be, help lower your stress levels? Is ask yourself these three questions. Number one, how supported do you feel right now by the people around you? This one hits home for me because me and Jess talk every day, almost every day, twice a day. And there will be people in your life that are energy filling, is what I call them. Jess is very energy filling to me. So when I need a little just feel good or just need, I like to be around her. It makes me feel good. So I call her energy filling. There's also what's called energy depleting people. And we all know the energy depleting people, that when we're in front of them or we get around them, we leave more worn out than we did when we came in. So how supported do you feel right now by the people around you? Are they people that are filling your spirit? Can you be authentic, your authentic self, with the people you spend the most time with? Jess, am I authentic with you?
Yeah, we're pretty, you know, we like to keep it real. We're pretty real people.
Yeah, we're pretty real people. So can you be authentic around them? And number three, do the people around you encourage healthy behaviors? So there's always a time and a place for special drinks out with friends or doing things that are a little bit not so healthy. But for the most part, is this friend, is this support system, if who you're going to hang around, are they encouraging you to be your best self? Because that is what we all need in our life. So
I'm going to jump in really quick there, Shalene.
yeah, sure.
It's also those people in your life that refill your positive image on yourself and your goals. So when you're thinking about those people that support positive behaviors in your life, are you surrounded by people that every time you tell them about an idea you have for your goals or you know, a new job or a new business, are they automatically saying, I don't think you should do that. That's not a good idea. You're not going to make it. Are they those type of people? Or are they people that are like, yeah, you can do that. You're awesome. I always see you doing whatever it is you're doing in your circle. So think about that too. Are they people that are adding value to you? Or do you feel super depleted when you leave their presence? And are you feeling like you have to almost recover before you have another, you know, time frame with them or meeting with them or just hang out with them? Really take note about how you feel in your body and your stress level when you're not in that person's presence.
Yeah.
Something to consider, especially at our ages, because your time is valuable. We all have the same amount of time, but we never know when it's going to be our very last hour. So keeping that in mind too, and wanting to be smart around who we're spending this precious time that we have on earth with.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Again, I have learned that through the years, and I think that's something that we do learn. But I would say if you can hear it earlier before you learn it, maybe you'll learn a little bit faster without so much of the negative part of it. So really wrapping up like the interaction, social health, some daily actions to improve your social health. So some takeaways: spend 5 to 10 minutes with close friends or loved ones. It doesn't have to be long, you guys. Face-to-face contact of just being present with a friend or a loved one. So a daily action, make that a goal. Find people with similar goals and interests as you. Again, we're going back to these meet and mingles. We're hoping that you find value, that you like us and you would want to spend time with us. So finding people with similar goals. Me and Jess do a lot together, but we also have very different goals other ways too. I do triathlons. So that is another set of group of people that I cherish and bring value to me and I feel good around. So find people with similar goals and interests as you, and then turn off all lights, close your eyes at least 7 hours before you wake up. In other words, we're going back to the importance of sleep, the importance of regenerating our bodies so that we can be our best self. So we hope that you guys kind of found some value, because stress is a huge subject. And this is just a few things, that tip of the iceberg that we're kind of bringing to you as the first kind of round of talking about stress and stress release. These 3 areas right here have some tips that you can take with you and put right away into action. And we'd love to hear what you think. Did you try the box breathing? What did you take as value from this? What more would you like to learn regarding any of these things we've talked about today in this meet and mingle?
I think that we covered some really great things today, Shalene, and I think our community here definitely can find value in box breathing, creating a healthy lifestyle, and surrounding their social circles with people that really uplift and support them. And just the last tip I'll leave you guys with is find that person in your life that can really be a true support for you. We all know, and it's sad to say, sometimes it's not your family. And I hate to say that, but it's true. We'll do talks later down the road on boundary setting and some of the harder things that you guys want help and support with. But find yourself someone that you can have that's a support, safe space for you. Whether that's a best friend across the United States, like Shalene and I, or whether that's, you know, a sister or a mom or someone who you can just share and be real with. Not all of us have that safe person within like reach. That's where coaches come in. Shalene and I are both coaches. We're also mentors. We're also trusted people in our familiar circles, in our social circles. If you need help on any of the things we talked about today, or if we just maybe touched on something that made you think or said, oh, maybe I could use a little bit more help, feel free to reach out to either one of us. Drop a comment down below, like whether it's like a little hand emoji, like, hey, I could help. I could use some help here. I could use some support. Send us a direct message. We can get in touch with you. If it's something you don't want to post down below, don't. Reach out to us personally. Both of us are available to help and chat and uplift and encourage. We know stress is real. We know stress is scary and it's overwhelming. And this is just the first of like our mini series. We're calling it on stress. So we went a little over what we normally told you we're going to do, 15, 20 minutes today. We wanted to wrap it up. It's just a little over 30 minutes. So hopefully you can scrub past anything that doesn't pertain to you. But we hope you've had, a great 30 minutes with us. We'd love your feedback. We'd love if there's anything else you do to help quiet your mind and find some relief from the stress in your life. So feel free to share it with us. And if you have suggestions on things, again, like Shalene said, please share them with us too. Because we're here to support, we're here to help, and we just thank you for being part of our community.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good night.